Good morning from beautiful Prizren, Kosovo.
Yeah, we're sad to leave after only one day here in Kosovo. It's just a really neat city that we wanted to experience a little bit more of, but our itinerary only has time for one day, and so we are headed on back to Tirana, Albania, the capital today.
We don't really know what we're going to be doing today in Tirana. A big part of this tour has been that we didn't do a lot of the planning. We have not been let down so far. Choose Balkans has come up with this whole itinerary. Every morning, our guide Nick tells us just a little bit about what we're going to be doing. He likes to keep a lot of surprises. And then when we come up on something cool, he likes to go, well, you haven't seen anything yet.
We're told we are guests of the boss tonight for dinner. I don't know if that's normal or if it's something special for us, but that is the one thing we've been let in on for today that we're really looking forward to.
Our drive to Albania's capital city took about 2.5 hours.
And despite some internet searching that led us to believe that Albanian roads needed a lot of updating, this route was an easy ride on newer highways until we hit the city traffic.
Tirana is home to about 500,000 people and holds a lot of history. We were excited to see the city for ourselves after hearing that the capital is a mix of post-communism style with a quirky and colorful vibe.
We are now above Tirana, getting ready to have a little lunch with a view. Pretty good view. Lunch, as every other meal was amazing. We had goat, some sort of meat and ricotta cheese, and some other sort of sauce mixture, a salad. I've had more goat this week than I probably had in the rest of my life combined. We should eat more goat in the States.
Now that we have finished up lunch, we made a stop on our way back down into the center of Tirana. We're here at a former military base. There's some bunkers here, but they've been repurposed and given a new life. So you can find bunkers all across Albania. 207,000 bunkers were planned and 168,000 were built. The complex sprawls 5 levels underground and was built in the 1970s to protect paranoid communist dictator Enver Hoxha and government officials from any nuclear war.
The maze of tunnels take you back in time, giving you a brief overview of life under communism in Albania leading up to 1990.
Guide was telling us that even members of his own family were kind of uncomfortable with the idea when it first opened because of such horrible things that had happened down underground. But it gives you a very honest look of what life was like during that time.
With a visit to Bunk'Art complete, we drove back above ground to the modern city, where we met with the Choose Balkans team at their tour office and checked into one of the rental apartments the company manages. What we didn't know was that this was another one of their little surprises for us.
Look at it, Darren. This is amazing.
Yeah, is it water markers on it?
Wow.
Not what I expected to say in Tirana.
The owner of Choose Balkans, he told us that he upgraded us into a really nice room. And when we arrived on our floor in the building that we're in, we were blown away. This room is huge. If you take a look, we have a kitchenette here. There's a double-sided couch, one looking out over the city, the other looking at a TV, complete with Netflix and everything else you could want. A huge comfy double bed, tons of closet space, a fireplace here. I haven't even been in the bathroom yet. Bathroom, bidet, toilet, walk-in shower.
We have a bathroom balcony?
I think we do. That's bigger than the other.
Oh my God.
That walks out to this.
And just in case you're wondering, the city's main square is easily viewable from this large walk-around, wrap-around balcony. It is right there. There's Skanderberg Square. Now that we are all checked in into our amazing room with a view, we're getting ready to check out the capital city of Tirana, which we can see pretty much from our window.
The main attractions of downtown Tirana are easy to see on foot.
So we've started our city tour with our guide Nick, and our first stop is going to be the new bazaar here in Tirana, which is 250 years old, to let you know what new means here.
Walking around, you can feel the city's lively and unique vibe, with lots of new construction everywhere you look, brightly colored buildings, and even a street named after a US president.
There's also one very distinct and debated landmark. When we were researching things to do here in Tirana, one of the only things that we could find on Google and one of the only images of Tirana that came up consistently was of a run-down pyramid that sits here in the city center. The pyramid was actually a museum for the communist dictator, and now it's falling apart here in the city center. It's kind of a tourist attraction, and some people like to climb up to the top of it.
Yeah, it's fenced off here today. It looks like a few people have jumped the fence. We asked our guide Nick if it was okay to go inside and climb it. He said you could probably do it, but you may face some issues with police, which we don't want, so we're probably going to pass.
We then crossed over to the Blaku district, which is now home to upscale restaurants, shops, and the city's nightlife. It's a sharp contrast to some of the neighborhood's history.
So it's just a little interesting. We're standing in front of the communist dictator's personal villa here, one of the fancier homes here in Tirana, and it is now located right across from a lovely KFC.
After our afternoon walk, we met the owners of the Choose Balkans tour company, Albanian and his wife, for a fantastic dinner featuring some delicious meats, a wide selection of other tasty dishes, and a lot of great conversation.
We ended the night with a stroll back through the city's bustling streets and major squares, finding relics of Albania's past.
So our guide took us to a communist monument graveyard. So these old statues used to stand in the squares during communist times, and now they're just dumped behind a building.
And stumbling across the flourishing art scene, complete with an outdoor concert. Our final stop was the redesigned Grand Skanderberg Square, featuring stone from all across Albania and a number of national buildings. We have made it back to our apartment here in Tirana city center. Tirana itself has a really different feel than I think anything else I've ever experienced. It's got a little bit of an older feel, but you can feel that things are rapidly changing. There's a lot of construction in the city, there's a lot of new restaurants, and it's interesting to see how it develops alongside the history that goes back hundreds of years here, even after 40, 50 years of communism. So I think it's definitely worth checking out, along with the rest of Albania.
Thanks for bearing with us today while I've been under the weather. I'm starting to lose my voice, so Steph's done most of the talking and been on camera the most, but she looks better on camera anyway, so you probably didn't mind. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell down below so you'll be the first to know when we post something new. Thanks for watching, and good night from Tirana.
We can look back someday.